Welcome to Nubiart Diary number 439 for the 15th of September 2021. Nubiart, a different perspective on the African world. Okay, for the September promos, we'll start off with Cameroon Garage Funk by various artists. It's out now on Analog Africa. This is another Analog Africa gem from out of the vaults. Which part of the three words Cameroon Garage Funk of this album does not spell quality? The tracks here were recorded in Yaoundé in the 1970s when the capital of Cameroon was a buzzing place filled with live music spots. However, the country lacked proper recording facilities, with the national broadcaster being one of the few places, but that was not an option for underground artists with no cash. Most of the music here was recorded secretly in an Adventist church thanks to the church engineer Monsieur Awono. But there was only one microphone, so that amps and instruments had to be positioned perfectly to get the best sound. The French label Son Afrique was at the forefront of those companies who would press and distribute the output. The Afrobeat of Jean-Pierre Jacquem's Africa I.O. from 1978 opens the compilation and is the first single to be released from the project. Joseph Kamga's Sitje is a jerk tune recorded in the Bamileke language. It's a blend of highlife with funky guitar chops. Los Cameros, one of the famous house bands, delivers some African rumba on Mawodewa and funk it up on Esele Mulema Moan from 1973. Yonja is an Afri-calypso from the talented multi-instrumentalist Ndenga Andre Destine et les Golden Songs. They were the Presidential Orchestra and the tracks from 1976. Later on in the collection, the band returned with the indigenous musical stylings of Ngamba. The Damas Swing Orchestra offer up the groove of Ode Life. The rumba of Quiero Wapacha is by Charles Lembe et Son Orchestra. During his career, the band leader composed film scores and also ran nightclubs in Europe. Song of Love by the hugely talented arranger Louis Wasson et l'Orchestra Candem Arine brings to mind the lyrical delivery of Shegun Bokna. The first two singles by Pierre Didi Chakunte, alias Tulips Noir, are included here. Their career was launched with the funky Mafufu, followed by Monde Moderne. Despite hits with westernized music, the band leader remained committed to promoting Bamileke tunes. The stretched out groove of Les Souffrances by Chisanga Dudon gives a humorous take on the day-to-day challenges faced by Cameroonians. Willie Songe, Les Showmen, was an outfit that featured the cream of the crop of musicians from the town of Jai Lobo, and they appear here with the energetic funk of Moni Ngan. Johnny Black et Les Jokers deliver a James Brown-style funky workout on Maye Boya. Sung in Iwondo, a Beti dialect, it is self-advised to stop loafing as success comes through hard work. Johnny Black is still performing in Yaoundé, a true living legend. Not much is known about Lucas Talla, but the keyboard-led funk of Woman Be Fire shows he, like most of the artists included here, could hold their own amongst any soul funketeer. Musique Memema, a highlife by Mbala Boni, closes the album. Boni was recruited into the Army Orchestra as a musical arranger and used a training assignment to France to sign a recording deal with Son Afrique, returning home with pressed up copies. Jean-Pierre Jacquem's Africa I.O., the promo video, is available to view on YouTube. The next promo is SHINDU by Fadhilee Itulya, and that's out now on Naxos World Arc Music. This album is inspired by the 1950s finger-picking guitar style of Omotibo and acoustic folk pop dance and world music inspired by the Lua people of Western Kenya. George Mukabe was the foremost exponent of the style, and SHINDU reflects the upbeat good time music grounded in culture, community and love for Africa and its people. Fadhilee's new album follows from his 2020 offering Kwetu, which means home, which was also released on Naxos World, which focused on the dance music of the Isuka and Edako communities of Western Kenya. Fadhilee is the founder of the Utam Festival that showcases the 42 Kenyan nations that shaped the country's identity. He also hosts Fadhilee's Garage, monthly live concerts and intimate performances showcasing local talent. The album opens with the spiritual Inju, underpinned by a blend of subtle bass and percussion. Pombe is a tribute to George Mukambe, who sang a song with the same name. In this version, Fadhilee takes a trip around Kenya, mocking the stereotypes that each area is known for, with Munjiti still the best place to get drunk as in the original. Wasi Wasi, with its rippling guitars, is a tribute to his new wife, who makes him lose all his anxieties. Aoko tells the contemplative story of families separated while the father works outside the capital, Nairobi. Sengo Nanga, You Comfort My Head, is a tribute to the Pan-African leaders who have provided a vision and guidance on how Africans can progress both in their personal lives and as a global people. There are name checks for Mumia Abu Jamal, Jomo Kenyatta, Oginga Odinga, Julius Nyerere, John Garang, Thomas Sankara, and Nelson Mandela. On Amina, a young man tells his girlfriend not to be shy when he invites her to come to his village to meet his family. Afrika uses the title of this album, Shindu Shi, to excellent effect. The exclamatory phrase means what is this, what is that, and is one of the most common and versatile in the Luya language for when you're happy or impressed and even not impressed. Fadhilee saw 2020 as an unforgettable year, a slap in the face that left everyone wondering, what is this virus and what is going on with the world? It is a love song to Africa and all the places he has missed visiting. Marashi ya Pemba, perfumes from Pemba Island, is a nod to the spice trade and the expensive perfumes the island was famous for. The term Watoto wa Kenya can mean children from Kenya, but it is also an affectionate term for beautiful women. Here, Fadhilee uses it in a playful feminist manner to support the characteristics of prominent Kenyan women such as the eyes of Becky Sangolo, the beautiful voice of Patricia Kihoro, and the character and values of the actress Lupita Nyong'o. Jamriambo means the liar in Luo, and this song is a warning to pathological liars that their end is near. Grace is a sad song about a man being alone at Christmas and remembering previous years when he spent it with his partner, wondering who she is with now. The album closes with Assalamu alaikum, the Arabic greeting which means peace be unto you. Here, Fadhilee makes it a prayer for the African motherland. The third promo is SUBA by Omar, Sosa and Seckou Keita, and it's out on the 22nd of October on the Bendigedig label. Cuban pianist Omar Sosa and Senegalese kora master Seckou Keita team up again for their second transatlantic outing together. This spiritual and mesmerizing album was recorded during lockdown and is a hymn to hope, to a new dawn of compassion and real change in a post-pandemic world. The 11 tracks are linked by common themes that tell of friendship and spiritual connection, of travel and loss, of hope and optimism, of dancing and the sea. The duo are joined by the Venezuelan percussionist Gustavo Avalos, who also appears with them at their live performances. They are ably supported by Jax Morelenbaum on cello, Dramani Dembele on flute, and Steve Arguelles on sequencing, effects and percussion. The album's title SUBA means sunrise or tomorrow in Mandinka. It opens with Karit, which means friendship, or my other half that was cut from me in Wolof. It was written by Keita as he reflected on the friendships he has known that built love, family, marriage and a neighbourhood. Alalemo has a gentle, epic quality, with lyrics written by Keita when he was on tour in Paris and inspired by the Manding proverb, the traveller who's leaving knows he's leaving, but he cannot know when or how he will return. Kora son is a combination of kora and son, either the Cuban musical tradition or the sun. Drops of Sunrise goes to the heart of the album theme of the sunrise, the hope of a new day, sung in Wolof and Mandinka. Giniri Balma means dance, and balafon in the Balanta language of Senegal's southern Casamance region, where Seckou's family comes from. The song reflects the ceremonial and ritual nature of their culture. Voices on the Sea came out of the musicians' search for a perfect sound and meditation to reflect the dual experiences of the captives taken across the ocean and the current wave of migrants fleeing unemployment, political stagnation, and frustration across the world. There are hopes for a new future that more often than not go unfulfilled, as the ocean can bring a lot of sadness. With 2020 Vision, the batter drum of Santeria Regla de Osha opens the song written by Seckou as he reflected on the pandemic's effects on how people were restricted in going about their daily lives. Omar brings the numerology of Santeria into his understanding of the song's essence. Ray's Ray is Omar's tribute to his soul brother, the Cuban flautist Reynaldo Perez Cruz, who passed away recently. Ma'am, which means grandparent in Wolof, is Seckou's ode to his grandmother and is an invitation to dance. The dancing doesn't have to be acrobatic, but movement is freedom, and here it is underpinned by the clav rumba sound that travelled back and forth across the Atlantic to be reinvigorated over the decades. Floating Boat was inspired by boats in the harbour outside Omar's house in Menorca, where much of SUBA was recorded. The album closes with No One Knows, a deep, moody track linking regret, empathy, and synchronicity. For the September media, we're reviewing the film Samra, which was directed by Dita Hashi and was shown at the ICA. Samra is the grammatically singular feminine form of the root asmar, the Arabic word for a contested shade of brown. The term is descriptive but also a racial categorization with historical and social meanings. It marks the boundary between brownness and blackness in Arab speech, where it is used as a term of abuse and affection to disarm or patronize women and girls in societies that have a strong awareness of racial stratification. In this thought-provoking short film, which was shown as part of the ICA's Echoes, Feelings and Meanings season, Dita Hashi uses a combination of Arabic pop music videos, live performances, and archival footage across space and time to show how the term Samara has been used in popular culture. The film's creative advisor, the poet-essayist Momtaza Mary, draws on the work of scholar-critic Hortense Spillers and the poetry of Muhammad al-Faturi, with footage shot on the coast of the Arabian Gulf. Samra is a timely exploration of the layers of microaggressions and intersectionality of oppression that Africans and women of a darker-hued phenotype are subjected to on a daily basis. Dita Hashi is an artist worker based between London and Paris who works across moving image, installation and writing. Momtaza Mary is a poet, essayist and independent researcher whose work has appeared in Granta, Art Forum, The Guardian and Poetry Review. She is the former Young People's Laureate for London and a Frontier Antioch Fellow at Antioch University. Her most recent pamphlet, Doing the Most with the Least, has been published by Goldsmiths. So we move on now to Lyrics and Spirits. O ye gods of the underworld who set yourself up against me and who resist the mighty ones, the stars which never set have led me on my way. And that's from chapter 78 from the Papyrus of Ani. And this poem is called Truth Hurts, the Nubiart Refix, since the 12th of October, 1492. To paraphrase Lizo, Europeans claim to be experts in everything, but when you call on their so-called expertise, then their drugs don't work or have so-called side effects, which are really just effects. Their buildings fall down or need to be rebuilt as soon as they have been put up, and most of their great ideas don't survive first contact with reality, never mind the enemy. They are just cons and scams refined over 529 years of Europeans playing the race card on a daily basis at every opportunity they can find. Unlike African millennials, Europeans show no signs of imposter syndrome. They expect to be promoted above their incompetency levels as they fall upwards, taking all the glory and profits without any thought for the victims or those millions of people whose life they have tried to destroy physically, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Hubris always ends in disaster. Truth hurts, for real. And that was written by me on the 11th of September 2021. Fresh out the blocks. And that brings us to the end of this edition of the Nubiart Diary. If you want to get in touch with us, it's Kubara Zamani, African Quest, PO Box 35165, London SE5 8WU. The email africanquest1@hotmail.com, and on Twitter at Nubiart Diary. And we'll just close by saying talk sense, or it don't make sense you talk. Thanks for listening. Guidance.